Hello, everyone, and welcome to a childhood film favourite of mine, 1996's James and the Giant Peach, directed by Henry Selick and starring a few famous people.
Just a few famous people, Dibs. How about Richard freaking Dreyfuss?
Well, not just him. Yeah, there's also
David
in terms of
Thewlis.
voices.
Richard Dreyfuss.
David Thewlis, Simon Callow,
Susan
Sarandon.
Mm-hmm. I think it's pronounced Dreyfuss. He's the father of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, aka Elaine from Seinfeld.
And also starring Miriam Margolis in a dual role, and Joanna Lumley. Alright, so basically, this film is a musical, like a lot of other Roald Dahl movies.
Yep.
Dibs picking a musical?
Yeah, I know, right? But it's a musical. Okay, I like the film, I just don't like the music in it, which is really sad considering it's from Randy Newman.
Yeah, Randy Newman is a great songwriter, and he can sing. It's just James and the Giant Peach wasn't one of his best ventures. That said, I don't hate the soundtrack. I like it. I just don't adore it like I do his Princess and the Frog one, which is arguably his best one. That being said, though,
I mean that fits more his style because he was brought up in New Orleans and everything.
That said, though, when this movie came out, it was a critical darling, and viewers loved it all around. It has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. However,
that did not translate to the box office. It made, on a budget of $38 million, it grossed $300,000 shy of that mark.
Possibly could have been due to not as great advertising. God, what was the competition around that time?
That's weird though, because back in the day, I remember the movie being advertised pretty well. Again, they constantly emphasized from the director of Night Before Christmas, from Tim Burton, and all like so. And remember, at the time, Tim Burton's popularity was at its peak. He had just come off of Nightmare and Edward Scissorhands, you know. So at the time, Tim Burton's name would basically be enough to sell a movie on its own.
Wait, was this movie bad or?
No. Again. That's why I say it's a bit of a mystery as to why this movie underperformed. Like, and that's the thing. Like, well, nowadays it's got beyond a cult following. Like, it's got a whole huge fan base. Like, people love this movie, and people loved it back then. So I'm trying to wrap my head around why it underperformed. Like, was it competing against something big around the time?
I guess maybe.
God forbid it were Disney competing with themselves.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out when we start the movie. Basically, start right before the ye old Disney logo.
All right.
Okay then.
Okay. Oh, by the way, this film competed with such classics as Fear, Getting Away with Murder, and Jane Eyre, and Kids in the Hall Brain Candy.
I do not remember any of those movies.
What an interesting group of movie titles.
Yeah, I know. That must have been the week where people were so weirded, were so put off by bland sounding titles, they just didn't bother. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, fun fact about this movie, Brian Rosen was hired as a producer by Disney for this movie for his experience in animated projects such as Mushrooms in 1995 and Ferngully: The Last Rainforest in 1992. That's right, Disney were so impressed with Ferngully: The Last Rainforest that they hired the producer for this movie.
I don't see him as a producer credit on Wikipedia, so did something happen?
Have you tried IMDb?
I don't know. So anyway, we start James and the Giant Peach with Bonks.
Well, this is kind of poignant.
Now all I can think of is that thing I saw on Twitter recently when the landlord just painted over a roach.
Excuse me.
He lived his life on a film set.
So, is this another adaptation that Roald Dahl hated with all his soul?
Well, he must have. Well, Jover, he must have he must have been really so pissed off. He must have been able to feel it from beyond the grave. He died 6 years before this film came out.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. That being said, he probably wouldn't have liked this either because he was very strict with these adaptations that were made.
Like, let me write this.
Okay, very harsh, I guess is the best word to use.
Let me write this. I find Witches to be a phenomenal movie. The man hated it. He protested it outside of theaters, for cripe's sake.
What?
But I mean, it was like that with the original 70s Wonka movie as well.
Really?
To be fair, that movie kind of really does throw a wrench into it. Again, I like the movie, but it really does throw a wrench into the book.
So yeah, James is having a really nice life. I wonder how long it will be before something goes wrong.
Oh, he's going to New York? Oh no, the horror! Don't you know? Something either wacky or bad happens when you move to New York.
Actually, believe it or not, Dads, in this story, New York is meant... Believe it or not, Dads, in this story, New York is meant to be the final destination. Until something terrible happened.
Hold on.
And before you ask, yes, this happened in the book. Now, the rhinos...
Abruptly?
Well, okay. Now, the rhino wasn't an evil cloud, but no, a rhino did actually eat his parents in the book.
Don't you hate it when you're having a good time and then suddenly a rhinoceros shows up out of nowhere and eats your parents?
God damn it, rhinos, you're supposed to be herbivores. And then you have to live with your evil aunts now.
How the hell does a rhinoceros eat people? Like Joe said, they eat grass.
We're in the African safari, that's how.
But that's the problem. Rhinoceros don't eat meat. They eat grass.
So,
It was an
James
evil
has been,
rhinoceros.
Oh,
yeah,
of course.
So yeah, poor James has now been sentenced to work.
So basically what you're telling me...
Matilda.
So basically what you're telling me is that being evil makes you carnivorous as well.
I mean, you can break your own rules.
So yeah, this movie has a lot of people who weren't as well known back then, but would arguably rise up eventually.
Yeah, the
Henry
primary
Selick
name...
making a live-action movie. That's
The primary name that was used in the marketing was, of course, Tim Burton. Henry Selick was the director, but they only said from the director of Nightmare Before Christmas. They actually used his previous movie to sell the movie, not so much his name.
To be fair, was Tim Burton's name actually used, or did they just say from the director of it?
Yes, if you go back and check the trailers, they say from Tim Burton and the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Well, yes, this certainly did come from Tim Burton, and boy, oh boy, can you tell.
So, so we have the evil odds. Well, they're like, I can't remember. Yeah, they're odds. Spiker and Sponge, played by Joanna Lumley and Miriam Margolis.
Also, please get your feet off the table.
Yeah, please, have some manners, lady.
Remember, Joe,
I don't care if it's your place, it's your property.
Fun
still have
fact!
some manners.
Oh, by the way, fun fact. If this were years later, this would have technically have been a Harry Potter reunion, because Miriam Margolyes plays Professor Sprout in the Harry Potter film series, and David Thewlis is in this movie as well.
Well, more like a preliminary meeting, because it'd be a reunion if it was after Harry Potter.
Well, that's why I. Well, that's how. Hold on, Dad. Let me finish. Well, that's why I said if this was years later.
Okay.
So I was just like, I was getting Aunt Petunia advice, but then you mentioned Harry Potter, like, okay, cool.
Yeah, get back to work, James.
Don't you see? Your father had his head in the clouds. That's why he never saw that rhino coming. My brother was so stupid.
And from the way that shot was composed, neither were you apparently, because you were looking at that book for so long you didn't notice your parents being eaten.
It's okay, James. Just wait 5 more years and they'll kick the bucket. You'll be free.
Okay. To be fair, in the book, it wasn't like it happened right on that beach or something, but it was like, well, okay, in the book, it was while visiting a zoo, a rhinoceros broke out and ate them.
Yeah, but in this case, the rhino is metaphoric.
Yeah. I don't get why the rhino is an evil cloud of smoke in the movie.
Was the rhino played by Paul Giamatti?
No.
Not quite.
Don't worry, Des. You always got Amazing Spider-Man 2 for that.
We're gonna watch that soon, Joe. I just hope you're ready.
You do know we've already commentated on it.
Oh, no, just for fun.
Oh, and besides, Des, there's eventually going to be the Generations commentary, this time involving Tio, because he wants a crack at that movie, and it really throws a rush into things.
I'll go into detail after we're done with this movie.
Oh, look at the bright side, James. At least your aunts aren't forcing you to live in a cupboard underneath the stairs.
That was a more put together statement.
Yeah, at least you have an actual bed.
Yeah, and a window.
And now, well, I wonder if James is starting to crack up. His only friend is a spider.
Yay!
And then he turns into a pig, and it just becomes Charlotte's Web.
Okay, the songs do not get off to a good start here. This is My Name is James, written by Randy Newman.
They're gonna murder the spider.
Hold on. Listen here.
You can barely sing. You guys say Randy Newman's a bad singer.
God damn the casting of this. Who are this kid? Somebody in the casting session told this kid, "Can you sound sad and sing?" This kid said no, and yet they still got him.
Okay, question: was auto tuning a thing at this point?
No,
I don't think so. No.
No, in 1996, I don't think so.
So as far as I know, this kid was in two major things: this movie and a show called Micro Soap.
I don't know what that is.
As of 2017, he's a mathematics teacher and an aspiring novelist living in County Durham.
Okay,
that's good. It's good to have child celebrities do something important.
Okay,
bless him, he's trying.
Yes, Pedro?
Go on, Pedro.
Here's the problem with these lyrics. There's no poetry to this. It just sounds like he's just talking. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's more like he's singing his...
James, stop singing, please.
Singing exposition. Like, there's no poetry, there's no finesse to the way the lyrics are written. Like, compare this to an Alan Menken song. If this was an Alan Menken song, there would be some clever analogies and metaphors to the lyrics to make sure that the lyrics are not on the nose.
Well, okay, except for the...
Songs like this are not Randy Newman's thing.
Wasn't there that one Alan Menken score and soundtrack that kind of fell flat?
Well, I never said Alan Menken was perfect, Joe.
Oh, I get that.
No composer is.
When did James Horner mess up?
This is literally song exposition. That's basically what it is.
Also, Pedro? Oh, sorry, you finished first.
Actually, I'm kind of finished, so go ahead.
When did this movie come out?
1996.
Oh, it was 1 year before autotune was a thing.
Well, there you go then. Yeah. And then the Lanterns theme from Tangled plays. Seriously, this looks a lot like the opening of Tangled.
Oh, and they didn't murder the spoiler yet.
Why would he?
Oh no, there it is. I'm sorry.
And hell, the song. Okay, for a song that's meant to be the emotional ballad of the movie, it probably could have had a stronger ending. Like, it just kind of peters out.
She said that a spider is vermin.
It's just a spider, you big babies.
Now, you see, if you saw a cockroach, that's understandable. Especially a flying cockroach.
I mean, I've held one of those.
A flying cockroach?
No, just a cockroach.
Just try holding a flying one.
I don't think we have those here.
No,
I don't know.
Lucky.
I'll have to look it up.
Oh, and now James even has to shoo away his one friend, a spider.
Look, James, have you ever heard of Stranger Danger?
Yeah.
I guess, to be fair...
It's the attack of the mutant pasta.
To be fair, maybe his aunts haven't taught him that.
His parents probably should have, considering he was already old enough to be able to learn that shit when the parents died.
Well,
Anyway.
before they got eaten by a rhino.
Anyway,
Yeah, but like-
anyway, this is Pete William Pufflefoy playing, what was the credits call him, the Magic Man.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, so it's Jack and the Beanstalk all over again. Here, have these things
No,
that
no, no,
are
no, no,
magical
no,
and
no,
blah,
no,
blah, blah.
no. They're crocodile tongues.
Oh, of course.
But
And also
Joe,
this. Oh,
That's
sorry.
how crocodile tongues
Joe,
look like.
those are crocodile tongues. It's luminescent pasta.
It looks like, yeah, it looks like green macaroons. Like, seriously.
Wow, the way he's describing it, that doesn't sound like a recipe for drugs at all, now does it?
Oh,
Yeah, I was
this-
gonna say,
Oh,
compared to the.
Oh yeah, this guy looks totally trustworthy. Go ahead, James. Eat the green macaroons. I'm sure.
I
no-
mean, compared to his aunts, can you blame him?
You were saying, Chiroy?
Compared to the beans, this exchange is portrayed as infinitely more dodgy.
And yet, you want to know the sad thing? James probably trusts this guy more than his own aunts. Like, I mean...
Honestly, yeah.
Look right ahead. There's New York City. Wow, I didn't know New York City was this close to England.
It was a hallucination. You know, he's like, oh, I'm so close yet so far.
What is it like? What? Oh God, I can't. I don't think any of you guys will get the reference. Is it like what Sarah Palin said that she can see Russia all the way from Alaska?
Probably. Lord knows the woman's insane enough. Okay. Okay, Burden. Thank you. It wouldn't be a Burden film without some face close-ups.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, it's
no.
only Sonic who's directing this, not Tim.
Quick, Henry.
I just saw a man
That's
merge
the
with the
master.
wind. I'ma trust him.
Okay, do you have a quick question?
Yes.
What time are you at? Just to be sure.
What could possibly go wrong?
13:27.
Okay, we're at the same time. Alright.
Oh,
I got
James,
scared.
you klutz.
The glowy macaroni.
Oh no, the tongues are squealing, as the subtitles put it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So they're magical jumping beans, like in Cow and Chicken.
No. Again, Pedro, they're crocodile tongues, boiled in a pig's head, doused with the finger of a witch and all that.
What's this? Fucking attacking the power of juju?
Man, Professor Sprout had a weird past.
How did she turn her life around?
Well,
just
given what happens during this movie, I think she realized she had... Oh my god, given that Professor Sprout is all about herbology, this actually kind of makes sense in hindsight. See, she came into contact with a weird, magical peach, and that's how she learned about magical plants.
So, do characters in Harry Potter age normally, or
Yeah.
do they look?
Yeah, they age
I think they
normally.
do. Yeah.
Okay, because like witches and wizards, I thought they'd have a certain point where they stop aging.
Not in that particular universe, no.
Okay.
But there are some works of fiction that do that, yes. With wizards
At least
and
for the human characters, we don't really know how the non-human species age and stuff. So
Wow, the one time his aunts actually seemed to care for his well-being. And Pedro might be familiar with Joanna Lamont Lumley because she was in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh. As a thing, Joe, but the only really prominent female role in that movie was Margot Robbie. I don't really remember who she played in that movie.
Margot Robbie was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, she was Jordan Belfort's wife.
Okay.
So yes,
Guess I
like
should
any
watch that.
typical, opportunistic evil aunts, they decided to turn the giant peach into a tourist attraction.
Are people in England really that bored that, well, just seeing the world's largest peach would be enough to draw in business?
If look, we're New Yorkers and we live in a tourist attraction.
Well, I mean,
So
to be fair, it is New York City. Like, who wouldn't want to check the place where Marvel superheroes hang out?
Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry, there, Jess. When Stanley enslaves New York by covering it in vegetation and plants and flowers, everybody from all over the world will come see the conquered New
Just
York.
erase that movie from my brain.
Which movie?
Drawn Central Park.
Oh, that.
Remember how Stanley at the end enslaves New York?
Poison Ivy would be so proud.
I'm just warning you. If I join you for a commentary and you hear snoring, you know why.
We already did that one too.
Well, to be fair, like with Amazing Spider-Man 2, we always have room for a Generations commentary.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they're evil because they smoke.
Seriously, Hans. That's the thing. They break up the rhino every chance they get with whenever James is with them.
You see, a child's soul must be broken efficiently. Then he is ours for the controlling.
I mean, it'd be like if in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all the other kids constantly reminded Charlie of how poor he is.
Oh, this is degrading. Well, amazing. The magical... Oh, wait, no. There's one crocodile tongue left. I want to eat you, crocodile tongue! Man, you know a kid's life must suck if he's disappointed about not getting to eat a slimy, mutated crocodile tongue that could do God knows what to him.
If it will end my suffering, I will have it.
Well, if you say so, curious child. Alright, time to do my thing. Let's see, what's this DNA here that I need to mutate and animate? Oh yeah, and also I need to reveal the way to him.
You opened up a portal in the peach.
What kind of strange Doctor Who series did we watch it go into?
It's a good
Well, I
thing.
mean, it's a lot better than the Doctor Who TV movie that came out the same year. Okay, now this is where Henry Selick actually gets to do the stuff he's good at.
Yeah, he gets
Behold.
transformed into a stop-motion model.
Wow. What was in those crocodile tongues?
What was in that peach?
Remember, the crocodile tongue got into the peach. So yeah, we've got our new characters: the Grasshopper, played by Simon Callow; Mr. Centipede, played by Richard Dreyfuss, with his singing done by Jeff Bennett; Mrs. Ladybug by Jane Leaves; Susan Sarandon as Miss Spider; David Thewlis as Mr. Earthworm; and funny enough, Miriam Margolis as Mrs. Glowworm. I guess they wanted to take advantage of the fact that they had Miriam Margolis and had to do two roles.
I saw a Twitter post that people were apparently horny for the spider.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on, let me check.
Maybe those people have a death wish.
Become Professor Layton's son.
Well, okay, to be fair, Shiroi, it's praying mantises that kill their mates, not spiders all the time. Unless it's
I
a
thought
black
she might be a
widow.
Black Widow.
Jova, tell me, did the book have some kind of illustration, or at the very least, an illustrated cover?
Yes. Yes, it did. Why?
So, is James's design right now similar to how he looked in the book? If he does appear in the cover,
I don't recall. Let me check.
because like Dwebs has asserted, yes, the designs are very British influence, very much typical of the old British
Okay,
cartoons. Yes.
So it really does depend on which cover you're referring to, because there are a ton of variants. But if we were to say base it off of this one, just copy and paste it over here. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, this is definitely, the art direction is clearly inspired by the book, which in itself is clearly like
Well,
an
apparently-
old
well, the
British
artist
illustration.
Well, the artist of the book actually did some work on this film.
Well, there you go then.
Of course, the spider's a hopeless romantic.
Well, the art's more interesting than the music, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a song going on.
Again, the problem with the lyrics of these songs is that they lack poetry, like I said before.
I mean, this song
I mean,
isn't
the
awful,
theme
but
the theme song he did for Monk was better than this.
Oh, no, they're not awful. It's just that they lack poetry.
Oh, I love Monk's theme song.
Which one?
The main theme, Jungle Out There.
That's the thing, Jova. In the first season, there was a theme tune before that one.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm referring to the main theme, the one that showed up for the majority.
There you go, then.
And apparently that one resonated so well that they never really changed it. Oh, sure, they made remixes of it, but no, that one stayed the theme. Hey, it could be worse. You could be a werewolf.
Like let me give you a concrete example. Like compare this to to give you an idea. Like one of my favorite verses from Alan Menken's Beauty and the Beast is "Certain as the sun rising in the east, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast." So, if that song was written in the same way these lyrics are written, it would be like, their love is so certain and it's so wonderful. Like the lyrics would be so much more on the nose. You know, like they would be.
Okay, now comes a big poignant part in the story. Now, this is a bit slightly different from the book. Wow, you two are petty with that goddamn rhino.
Seriously, at some point they might as well say, "Come out, James, we promise we haven't got the rhino in our pocket."
Next, you'll be telling me that they're the ones who hired the rhino to eat the parents, just so they could mistreat James. Okay, so here's a bit of a difference here. Originally, this was planned, as in, it was always the plan for the centipede to break off the branch on the peach and set it off into the ocean. Here, apparently it was more a spur-of-the-moment thing, weirdly enough. Oh, and another difference? The peach kills the aunts in the book.
Here, though, it doesn't happen.
I feel like they may have mentioned why they did that, but yeah, no, instead they're just comedically flattened instead of killed.
I'm guessing.
I'm gonna be honest.
Too dark for the kids or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Of course, right after the rhino ate the parents.
Yeah.
In that case, I have no idea.
Nothing to see here, England. Just a peach about to crush a church.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, though. The miniature work. You know how really good miniatures hide the fact that they're miniatures.
Yes.
This one doesn't really do that.
Did this movie get as good a budget as Nightmare Before
So
Christmas?
I think it. I mean, remember this? They came right off a Nightmare, so I'm assuming it did.
All right, I'll look up the budget. James and the Giant Peach's budget was $38 million.
Okay, how much was Nightmare?
Nightmare Before Christmas, $24 million.
So it
Oh,
actually
quite
cost
an
even-
increase then.
It actually cost even more to make. Actually,
So it costs more, and the miniatures look worse.
Okay, to
so
be
what you're
fair,
saying is it's just a model.
Yeah.
I do get the feeling that maybe the reason that miniature looked worse was because it's just there for that one scene as opposed to most of the miniatures in Nightmare Before Christmas, which were made throughout the film. Again, I'm not
That's
saying
another
that...
thing as well. Sometimes some of the sets look pretty. Okay, I wouldn't say inauthentic, but they just look like film sets half the time, especially the bit with James and the parents.
We sail set to the open sea. Better hope this Peach is more unsinkable than other British ships. Hey, yeah, that's right, Dwibs. A seafaring venture going from England, well, Europe in general, to New York City.
Good job. Well, this came out. Funny enough, the film came out a year before Titanic, so.
Oh my god.
It's weird.
Well, but also came the same year as that terrible mini-series versions of Titanic, which was made to cash in on the 1997 upcoming one.
It's weird. Usually,
Okay, Zero, I sort of found the tweet.
Oh,
Yes, Major.
I mean, the account is suspended, but I remember I asked who this was, and the replies are a bunch of anime waifu. I mean, cartoon waifu, and most of them are animals. So it's like, oh,
I wonder why they got suspended.
yeah, I wonder why too.
So yeah,
You gonna say, Major?
it's weird. Usually, British people migrate over here.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, loads of British people also love to come to America, specifically mainly Boston and New York. Sometimes...
The thing is, Joe, but, the movie doesn't specify where James sets sail from. He sets sail from place.
Somewhere in England. Pick whatever town. Pick whatever town fits best for you.
So, did anyone have a crush on Miss Spider as a kid?
Well, look at this way.
Dead?
No.
Well, look at this way.
Edge is muted. Sorry, yes, go on, Pedro. Go on.
Well, look at this way. It's kind of like how Baby Geniuses takes place in a generic American city that you can quite tell where it is.
Basically, it was someplace in England.
Yes. But there are no cats in America. Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong movie.
It's not cats running away from, it's evil aunts.
Not to mention, that's a flat-out lie. There are no cats in America. That song is a lie.
No duh.
Does everybody want in on that movie?
Oh yeah, totally.
Wait, what movie?
Because I might pick that for eventual
Sure.
full group stuff.
What
Sure,
movie?
sure. Don
An
Bluth's-
American Tale.
Don Bluth's American Tale.
You know what? Sure, I've never seen it. Might as well.
I'm so in it,
Well-
if only because I definitely also went in on the sequel. The good
Well,
sequel.
Well, okay. I should explain. Well, sure. I was mostly partly joking because the whole thing with the cats is they're supposed to be an allegory for immigrants and stuff like that. But let's just say as parallels and stuff like that.
Anyway, we should get back to the movie. Yeah, basically, we're gonna set sail to New York, but the worm's like, no, we're not gonna make it.
Basically, they're going to use the worm as bait. Why? Well, because they want to attract some birds that will pull them towards New York City.
Tickle
Does that count as... You know what, never mind. I don't want to know about worm biology that much.
him. What, you thought it was like rubbing a dick or something?
Well, do you think it is?
I don't think that's how. I don't think that's how worms reproduce.
No, thank goodness. But what's... Okay, so here's a big difference. In the book, it was just a regular shark chasing them. In here, it's some weird robotic machine for some reason.
Because it looks cooler? Question mark.
I guess. Oh yeah, Dad, like we were asking earlier, were you one of the people who had a crush on Miss Spider back in your childhood?
No, because I've never seen this movie. I didn't know who it was until last year.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I like how his answer was no, because I've never seen the fur. I've seen this in a movie, and no, I'm not a furry.
Sure. You're not a furry if it's after spiders, last I checked.
It's so...
Jeepers! I'm a furry!
Ah, lovely.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Pedro.
Well, actually, I was
sure, you're one too. Let's be real.
I was actually referencing Rocket.
I know you were referencing something.
That's the thing, Shiro. I'm still convinced the person who wrote that script didn't even know what he was actually doing when he wrote that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Rocket
it's a different movie.
Rocket was a movie Don Bluth made after All Dogs Go to Heaven. AKA the movie where he officially left his brain out the door every time he would make a movie.
Anyway, back to this movie. Yeah, the shark has a grappling hook for some reason. Again, this is completely original to the movie. The shark being this weird robot thing.
I guess they wanted to make it more actiony.
I guess.
I love how the Peach can be literally steered with that thing.
Wow, what's in that handbag?
Okay, Jova, in the book, do they specifically describe that after James goes into the Peach, she magically gets magically altered or something along those lines?
I think the magical alteration is something that's, movie exclusive.
Okay.
Now, granted.
Transition to the stop motion somehow.
Granted.
But that's just the thing, dude. By that logic, why didn't you just make the entire movie stop motion then? What was even the point of the live action if there's no actual book reason for it to be there?
Just to show how he's basically in another world.
It's also
or he's in an acid trip to some degree.
It's also a means of separating the mundane from the mystical as well.
I guess.
And no, before you ask,
one weird ass explosion.
Oh my god, I just realized, guys, it's not Richard Dreyfuss's first time dealing with a shark, actually.
What was he in Jaws?
Yes, he plays Hooper in that.
Yep. That's his most famous role, actually, does.
So much so that, well, they begged him to star in Piranhas. And Piranhas 3D, if I recall correctly.
I still kind of enjoy that movie in an ironic way. Like, if you just watch it like with your brain turned off and just enjoy it as a B movie, it's a lot of fun.
Isn't that specifically how the movie was made?
Oh no! That movie knows how bad it is. That movie just goes completely over the top with its violence and gore. And if you're up for some B schlock, that's fun to watch. At least it's a nice time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we just defeated a goddamn robot shark. Nothing can stop us now.
definitely.
A worm, probably.
This reminds me a lot of like the way they were even flying around with the it's being dragged by birds and everything. Like, okay, was this also a thing in the book, Jova?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I
The
won't
whole
be
having
surprised-
to escape a shark by attaching seagulls via Miss Spiders' web, that was a thing in the book.
Sure. Okay, so I'm guessing Roald Dahl is a fan of Exupéry, since that's how the Little Prince moves from planet to planet as well.
Oh,
Probably
look.
inspired.
Roald Dahl. That man has quite some trippy stories, let me tell you.
Oh, totally. Just trust me, I know. I'm familiar with his other work outside of this one. It's just that, that's straight up Little Prince imagery type right there. Like, I'm confident. Yeah. I'm confident he read that in his youth.
It's a teapot. Oh my gosh, you're about to eat the cigar. Ah, of course.
Wine and cheese.
Okay, it's officially cracked.
I have.
He's a giant wiener. Well,
Chicken.
okay.
And of course.
No, you fool! Hey, Jova.
Yes.
It's been 6 weeks since we left England. 5 days since we had a
Peach?
I got the madness, Jova. I got cabin fever.
I got it too.
Have you seen Muppet Treasure Island, Edge?
Nope.
I need to get you to watch that movie too.
So I'm curious, was Simon Cowell as big a name back then?
A little.
I think so, yes.
So yeah, James gets the idea that, well, why don't we just eat our ship?
Because if you eat too much of it,
that solution is not going to really solve the problem in the long run. You understand that, right?
Actually, it should be just enough to last them the trip to New York City.
Hopefully.
The idea is to eat it from the inside out, as opposed to,
Oh boy, now we get a song from Randy doing about
Also-
the peach.
Also, to be fair, as okay, it's more of a visual cue, but you remember how James took a bite out of the peach earlier in the movie, but then the peach kind of just, reformed part of it? It's sort of hinted that this peach may have regenerative abilities to an extent.
How convenient.
So how do they use the bathroom? Where do they go to the bathroom?
I guess they just pee into the sea?
Well, remember, they're insects, so they dispose of their excrement differently.
Okay, but what about James?
You'll have to pee in the peach.
No.
Well,
It's simple. You
exactly.
You
Just
go
go
over.
to the edge and piss in the sea, basically.
That's just what I was
Or if
about
he
to
needs take a
say.
dump.
You do it over the edge.
Yes, just do it over the edge.
Using the British flag as a tablecloth. How adorable.
I don't think Roald Dahl was very concerned with James's necessities while he was writing the book.
I thought we established several movie commentaries ago that we don't ask how characters go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So how did Cat Dog go to the bathroom?
No, we're not doing this.
Oh, ho, ho.
Inspiring.
The song might as well be called the Eating the Peach song.
No, just that. I love how we have literally 3 verses in a row. Right, it's just the word peach repeated over and over.
Oh no, this kid's going to drink beer.
It's just peach.
No, it's okay. It's okay because it's root peach juice.
Don't you see?
Huh?
It's peach tea. Wait a minute. Oh no.
So it's Granny's
Is it?
peach tea.
Oh God! Oh, Well, speaking of urine, then.
Yes,
That movie was so stupid.
I know.
So basically, what you guys saying that James peed in all their cups? Not
No,
telling them?
you see, Dwebs. You see, Dwebs. Turns out the Granny's peach tea from BVS was actually from here. See, it's all connected.
No, it isn't.
Peach
Don't know.
fight!
It seems to take a little while to regenerate.
Another thing about this. Okay. Another thing about the songs is that they don't really do a good enough job in helping the plot move forward or fleshing out the characters. Jova, was there more characterization in the book that we're not seeing here?
Okay. In typical Roald Dahl fashion, it's mainly about yes, these characters have their quirks here and there, and yes, we do learn about them, which, to be fair, we do in the movie as well. Like, we do learn their wants, their hopes and dreams and all that, so the movie is more or less translating what we get with just the songs added in. And to be fair, the songs do technically help convey parts of the plot, but I do get what you mean. Is like, well, the songs feel like they're there for exposition and nothing more. Well, okay. Except for
James.
to be fair, except for the family song, like that's there, I guess, to prove a point.
James, you're literally in the web of a Black Widow.
It's okay. Wait, hold on. She doesn't have a red hourglass on her butt, so you're fine. But it's okay because she's the spider who was his friend before she got mutated by those crocodile tongues. So he can trust her, right?
Of course.
Shiroi, if a spider who was your friend from before had you rest in her web, you trust that, right?
No, I would not.
Why
No,
not?
she's gonna eat him, isn't she?
Guys, she's his friend. Why would she eat him?
Because your tone suggests that. That's why.
Jova, I love you, but holy crap, you suck at foreshadowing.
She loves him so much, she just wants to eat him up.
There, you see, Pedro gets it. Be like him.
So yeah, James gets to go to Owen. Now we're in the very hungry caterpillar.
This is creepy.
Don't worry, it's about to get even more Monty Python-esque.
Oh my god, I just realized, Whips.
What?
I could have made a hungry hippo. Oh, actually, no, it's not a hippo, it's a rhinoceros. Never mind.
Seriously,
And
this is...
suddenly being reminded of Angela Anaconda. No.
Who names their child Sponge?
To be fair, I guess it's still better than calling your child Vicious.
Or Scar.
Or Juice.
Well, okay, Deds, that's the thing. Scars...
Nope, don't want to hear it.
Remember, Job, he hasn't gotten to that part yet.
Oh, well, okay. Not even talking about Lion Guard. The actual lore of Lion King, which was made well before the Lion Guard, established that Scar isn't his real name.
Well, that dream sequence was something.
I don't know, not anymore, Joe, but Lion Guard retcon that crap.
Well, no, Pedro. Even
Okay,
Pedro, even in Lion Guard, it's different, but I can't say
Alright,
too
so
much, so that might
somehow-
spoil.
So somehow they must have veered off course because now they're in Antarctica.
I'm surprised the seagulls are even able to still fly. Oh, be careful, guys. You might bump up the rating to a PG-13.
Yeah, I know. And this one will make even less at the box office than it did.
I mean, this movie's probably rated PG. Be careful, guys. You might bump up the rating a bit too high. Ha 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 ha.
So pessimistic. So they're dead statues then?
Dead living statues, Dribs.
You see, there's a difference between being mostly dead and all dead. Please open his mouth.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
Not to worry. James and the spider will save the day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest. James, the Spider, and the Centipede are probably the three most popular characters in this movie.
James the Spider and the Centipede. That's what this film probably should have been called.
Let's see. Susan Sarandon. Oh, she's been in quite a few things. Even Speed Racer. Neat. Oh boy. We're about to get an interesting cameo. A Skellington.
Ha 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 ha.
Like, no, that is legit Jack Skellington right there.
It's the same model they used for the movie. Yeah.
Damn, his didn't know he pulled such a dramatic heel turn.
Oh dear. Well, shoot. Hey, has anyone ever wondered how we can breathe underwater?
I can't
And
believe
how
he got
come-
killed by Jack Skeleton.
And how come there's no water pressure?
Maybe it's all thanks to those, weird green crocodile tongues.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the green crocodile tongues could do anything.
Also, weirdly enough, one of the headdresses on one of the ship was James's aunt's for some reason. I have no idea why, just stuff.
Because reincorporation.
Also, yeah,
not
before you
really.
ask, this whole ship sequence is completely original to the movie. Guess they figured
They
we
just
needed
really wanted that Jack Skeleton cameo.
Probably.
and a swashbuckling venture.
No, I can definitely see what Joa means because this detour seems like
Filler?
It's like the book.
Oh
shit,
my God,
the
was
book
that
isn't long
Donald-
enough for a movie? We better add
Yes,
stuff
that
to it.
was.
That was Donald flipping duck as a skeleton. Okay. Sorry, Donald.
What? This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween. Halloween.
pumpkins scream in the dead of night.
But still, though, Jack Skellington's didn't know. How did he turn into a bad guy?
You try being stuck at the bottom of the sea. You're bound to go crazy.
He said shipload of pirates. Trying to get past that censor.
Yep.
Honestly, I thought they were actually going to kill him.
No, instead she'll kiss him. Yeah.
Okay, so that little detour was over.
I mean,
they got a compass out. They got a compass out of it.
I mean, it's a nice enough set piece. I'm not too broken about it, but yeah, it's kind of.
It is a nice set piece, but like, if you really wanted to add this in, you should have had so that the characters have a heart-to-heart where the centipede apologizes and all that shit.
Oh, we actually got that scene already.
Oh, okay, we did, but it should have been more.
Well, I mean, this movie isn't even 80 minutes.
Okay, to give that scene some credit, it does lead more credence to the idea of them being a family. Whereas, don't get me wrong, they had good bonding time in the book, but I get the feeling that that scene was meant to be sort of the kinda, but not really breakup moment where the centipede goes about to do something to undo his mistake, and they realize, oh god, things still incomplete without him and all that.
Good show, old boy.
Which will lead us to some nice character moments like this as well. Instead of butting heads, now they're getting along. Yeah, because that's the thing, we're actually getting close to the end of this movie.
Holy crap, there's only 28 minutes left.
Yeah, that's the thing. I genuinely believe that this movie should have been longer.
I do agree, yeah.
Because this movie feels like it ends almost as exactly after it begins. Like, it flies by way too fast, and not in the good way.
It's only 79 minutes.
Okay. Maybe as a kid this movie felt longer to me, but yeah, looking back at this as an adult, this movie does feel short. It's still
good. Question. When you saw it as a kid, did you see it when Cartoon Network was airing it? Because they have a tendency of making... Yeah, because that's why I never watched it, because Cartoon Network has this tendency of airing a movie and making it feel longer than it should because of those commercial breaks that feel completely out of place.
I will say this, I was lucky enough to watch it on VHS, but yes, I had occasionally seen the Cartoon Network version, and, well, yeah, Cartoon Network does that. Also, I'm old enough to remember...
That's something the studios do, but I feel like Cartoon Network is just the worst.
Also, I'm old enough to remember when Cartoon Network aired Batman Begins and Batman 1989 on their channel.
Wait, they aired Batman Begins?
I know 89, but Begins?
Yes! They did that at some point.
Yeah, I know that they also aired the Spider-Man trilogy. Maybe not 3, but the first 2, definitely. Because for a good couple of years, every Sunday they would air a Batman movie, like James and the Giant Peach, the Spider-Man, Batman '89.
I guess
now
if it's
we get the Go to Sleep song.
Go to sleep, close your
Page.
shut eyes.
Page, you're doing it wrong. You have to go like this. James goes to sleep to do the gossip.
Okay. Go to sleep, close your big fat eyes. Go to sleep.
So, anyway, from what I've seen most times, the fan base seemed to ship the characters in very weird ways. And no, before you ask, thankfully not shipping them with James.
Wait,
so,
cowards. I mean, what?
Wait. Could you run me by that again, Jova?
Well, yeah, of course the fan base of this movie has a shipping community.
Oh, you're talking about the...
but they don't ship anyone with James.
Most people
feel like Tumblr's favorite movie.
No, dads, no, do not desecrate this movie with that.
Here's an idea.
Too late. I wonder if there's Homestuck crossover art with this.
Woo!
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, wow. This is the song that Vin Diesel took as inspiration.
What?
We're family. I'm surprised this wasn't a song in the Fast
I
and
mean, this
Furious
is actually,
movies.
honestly, this is probably the best song in this
Yeah.
movie so far.
Honestly, I'm fine with this song. Like, if for once it's not a song just made blatantly for exposition, and it's a nice enough tune.
But guys, they've arrived.
Hooray!
And suddenly the kid's voice is in tune. Also, you have a centipede and the spider are thing. The Big Peach has made it to the Big Apple.
But
Where's
but oh dear.
Where's my Yamato? What year did this movie come out?
1996.
1996.
But the rhino's back, and wait, what the hell do you think James is supposed to do?
Oh,
Um,
it's you. Yeah, this is also a thing that's movie exclusive. The
So
rhino.
I'm guessing we never see the rhino after the beginning of the book.
Nope. They pretty much just touched down in New York overall fine.
I guess it's because they needed an antagonist.
I guess. Again, I have no idea why the rhino is an evil black cloudy smoke. I'm going to get vengeance! So he's not coming with them because I guess he needs to get vengeance on this rhino. Somehow.
I didn't think this through.
Oh. Well, that was James and the Giant Peach. What are your final thoughts, guys?
You're not even a real rhino? So, wait.
so hold on. If that's the case, then how did he eat his your parents then?
And if
Shut
he's
up,
just
Tejo.
and if he's just smoking noise, how is everybody else seeing him?
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask about the book again. Okay, in the book, is the rhino supposed to be a metaphor for James's
No.
fears?
It-
In reality, they died because of something else. Or
No.
something?
His parents literally got eaten by a rhinoceros in the book, and believe it or not, Pedro, that's one of the more mundane backstories of a Roald Dahl character.
Oh, I know that. So it's just that.
Yeah, no. It was an actual rhino. What I don't recall was the rhino being a black smoke and whatnot, but I guess that defeated him.
I guess because that
Unfortunately,
way
no.
it looks. I guess Henry thought that this way it looks scarier. I don't know.
I guess. But now the crocodile tongue made its way out of James' system, which means he is now back to normal.
How many days has it been since he ate the...
Haven't been keeping track. Welcome to New York City, kid.
Okay, what kind of New York movie New York is this one? Is this the one in Home Alone 2 where Kevin is at nighttime doing Central Park and then there's very creepy people going, "No shit, kid!" and the cab driver looks like he just came out of a graveyard, a grave from the graveyard, for the record.
It's much better in here, kid.
Yeah, much better in here, kid. Seriously. So, what kind of movie New York are we in?
Yes,
Is that the kind of one?
James, you're on top of the
You're on the
Empire
Empire
State
State
Building.
Well, isn't this peachy?
Mary Margaret,
Get out.
there's a peach
Wow.
on the goddamn Empire State Building.
Sure, you resisted for that long.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Applaud me.
Oh,
Fine.
Is it what? Sorry.
Resisted the pun.
Oh.
Oh, right, yes.
we always come prepared in case of emergencies like this.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, Sherry, do you remember the time where a giant apple got stuck on top of Big Ben?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they had to close it to
That's
refurbish it.
Oh.
Yeah, we had that covered.
Remember, Drips, obviously, this only happens in New York, not in London.
Oh, poor James. He's lost his family again due to that rhino.
Wait, there's still 17 minutes left.
But he's in America now, so he'll get adopted by a nice family, whereas in Britain, we're all terrible orphanages or step parents.
It's weird.
I know,
Okay,
right?
it's weird. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because that's how it works.
Yes, Peter?
It's weird. I don't know how the book is, but you'd think they would go for an overcome trauma type of story, where like he those bugs become his new family, and he gets over the death of his parents and all that stuff. But now they have him once again now lose his family supposedly. But it's just kind of I'm a bit confused by the narrative arc of this.
Just
movie.
wait and see what happens.
Take it easy, guys. He just fell from a great height in a peach.
It came all the way from the UK.
He's going to need some therapy. Thank you. Oh my god, a cop who knows how to properly comfort a kid who's probably been through something traumatic.
Okay, wait.
Remember, this is a
wait
movie, Jova.
minute.
Okay, and here's something that's also movie exclusive. But believe it or not, the
How the fuck did you two get here?
we drove.
It's simple.
Ow!
Dudes. It's simple, dudes. They traveled by map.
No, apparently they traveled under the ocean. They are that
yeah,
determined.
Well, yeah, that's what traveling by map apparently does, according to Muppets 2011, Jova. So, yeah.
No. Don't you see Professor Sprout used that breathing spell? Yes, James. Your past has
He's
literally
already
come
won.
back. Your past has literally come back to haunt you. I'm sure you have. Also, this beat cop is being played by Mike Starr.
Well, funny enough, out of all the human characters that aren't the main one, actually, he sticks out the most.
Because he's actually a nice person.
Oh, but how did you get there?
Again, they drove. Hey! The Magic Man!
Dun, 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 dun. Ha 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 ha! Listen to the dumb kid with his stupid
Seagulls.
fantasies.
We just drove all the way from England to New York. That's ridiculous. Jeez.
No, not necessarily, James.
James, I need to just give you a history book. I understand what you're going through, but I don't think this is what you mean by dream.
Hey, come on, come on. Let's support the boy. And he's trying. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's also the problem that this kid is not really a good enough actor to sell this.
You, Pete, you discipline your child? The monsters.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, to be fair, it is terrible how they treat him, but yeah, as far as the crowd just heard, they beat him, which could mean spanking. If you won't come with us willingly, then you'll come in pieces!
That's definitely not incriminating.
Oh boy, these two grown women are trying to murder this little boy with axes. Should I just stay here and watch?
No, wait, it looks like a glowworm. And a centipede.
Hey, sure, do you have a camera? I want to take a picture of the murderous women.
Okay. We don't know when the story takes place. It looks like it's in very older days.
Well, okay,
Somebody has to have a Polaroid, though.
Oh my god, giant spider! Is what I think somebody's reaction would be to seeing that.
Yeah, I'm surprised the cops weren't pulling out their guns and trying to shoot us. Like, no, no, no.
Well, remember, Jovo, if there's one thing I've learned from Roald Dahl is that, much like Hayao Miyazaki, his the characters in his works are very rarely surprised by magical feats.
True.
Remember when Matilda showed her teacher that she could do things, and then and the teacher's just like, oh, okay, so you have powers, and that's it. She doesn't even question this.
Wait, this
Tighter?
book was written by the same guy who wrote Matilda.
Yes, Roald Dahl.
You know what? I mentioned Matilda earlier, and I had no idea because this has the same energy as that.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
he also wrote stuff like Witches, The Air, The Secret Platform.
Witches. That was the movie that
Basically, if you want to a movie that's more
the Muppets guy. Dang, I can't remember his name right now. Jim Henson, the Henson Company worked on. Right?
Willy Wonka, no.
No, not Willy Wonka. Witches.
Witches. Oh, Witches. Okay, sorry.
Also, Dej.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you thought I was trying to hide the fact that the spider is going to eat James because I was supposedly giving it in a terrible way that I was trying to hide foreshadowing?
Basically, you were lying in a terrible way.
Jova, do people in New York ever talk about the great peach giveaway of 1996?
Oh, it
Guys,
occasionally comes up.
Dwebs, you have to realize that he's in the part of New York no one cares about.
Well, actually, Blix, you have to pick the year that this story takes place, which I think is like
Also, kids, is it safe to eat that peach? You don't know where it's been.
In the
Yeah.
sky.
In the water, too.
Hey, they watered it up and dried it up, so that's it.
It's-
We've been doing our business inside of that peach the entire time.
And the seagulls that carried us over probably pooped on it.
not to mention
it's fertilizer.
not to mention it's a bloody peach. It probably tastes the exact same as any other peach.
Oh, not a fan of peaches?
I don't know. I love peaches. It's just that what exactly makes this one taste special? Like it's
It's
just a big
giant!
peach.
Okay.
It's magical!
Okay, I
Of
have
course it'll
one.
taste beautiful.
I have one minor complaint.
Oh, and
James
look,
is
yes. It turns out the Magic Man was the one narrating the story.
Yes, Deji?
What James was wearing looks like what the main protagonist of Hello Neighbors wears.
Centipede enters race. Grasshopper debuts. And now it's time for Randy Newman to give his song. Ladybug delivers Thousand Baby. Spider Club opens. Glowworm shines. Family celebration. Honestly, I like
This
this.
movie was about family.
Honestly, I like this song. I think this song's actually legit the best song in the movie.
Oh, Joe Ranft. Huh.
You
Interesting.
recognize that name?
He was a big story guy from Pixar all the way before he sadly passed away before Cars came out.
Yeah, I can see how he'd be involved in something like this. Yeah, seriously though, this song is the best one. It's not even an exposition one. Granted, it probably would be weird to have an exposition song at the time of the credits.
Jova, what are you talking about? Anyone can make a song about the credits rolling. I'm gonna.
Go ahead, Dwebs.
But I can do it. The credits are rolling. The words are going up to the screen. It's really boring, isn't it? Really.
Okay, I'll give you credit. That wasn't that bad.
In terms of Brian Newman songs, my favorite is actually "We Belong Together" from Toy Story 3.
Well, I'm basic, and it's still we got a friend. You got a friend in me.
Oh no, I like that one too. It's just that I have a soft spot for "We Belong Together," which plays in the credits of 3.
So that was James and the Giant Peach. It has some flaws, but honestly, I still really enjoy it. Okay, a lot of the songs are kind of misses, but the last two, this one included, they're good enough, honestly. I like the stop motion design, I like the character design, and yeah, for as much as a big lipped alligator moment as that whole find the compass in the sunken ships area was, I appreciate it as a set piece. I liked it as a kid, and I still like it as an adult. It's good. Next.
For me, it's just like it's an enjoyable movie for what it is. Like I love the stop motion animation, and it does have some fun set pieces, like they said. But I feel like the plot feels undercooked, and the characters, while they do get some nice moments here and there, probably could have used a bit more character moments. Again, I really feel like this. I don't know how much from the book was cut, but it feels like this should have been longer, to be honest with you.
I'm not even quite sure if much stuff on the book was even cut. It feels like it's mostly there.
It's weird. I feel like okay. Assuming that this is indeed faithful to the book,
It does have some weird changes, but it feels like more they added on some stuff. Granted, maybe they did take some stuff out, but again, from what I remember of the book, it is faithful with, again, more added conflict, like the rhino coming back, the ship fight, and heck, even the bout with the aunts again. Which, okay, to be fair, I do feel like it does at least give James better closure getting to defeat his aunts instead of them just dying from a peach in the first act.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I feel like there should have been a bit more to this. Especially considering Roald Dahl is usually really good at doing a lot with simple concepts. Like Mattel is a good example of that. And Charlie and Chocolate Factory is also a good example of that. But this one, even by his style, feels a bit undercooked. Because when you take a look at the other works, there's a lot of personality to all the characters, and there's a lot more character moments. Whereas in here, again, the movie, and by extension the book, I guess, feels a bit undercooked. I feel like we should have gotten a bit more characterization out of all these characters, not just the three that get, which is James, the spider, and the centipede. And the plot itself feels a bit random. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a coherent thorough line connecting everything. It just feels like, oh, James is sad, but then he finds his peach. Now they go to New York. He gets to New York. The aunts are there, but we defeat them, and now we live happily ever after. But that's it. Like, there's not even. Again, like I said, it feels undercooked. I feel like there should have been an extra 20 minutes added to this movie to tighten up the script and add more substance to the story. Because as it is right now, it's fine, it's enjoyable, but it feels undercooked. That's it.
It was fine. It.
Oh, it's Chris.
Oh, is that?
Oh yeah,
Wait,
there is.
I
just
clicked
came
off the movie.
I came off the movie.
Wait, what is happening in it?
A rhino. Oh, it's a concession where the rhino can bash and eat the aunts.
Huh.
The story is quite the interesting obsession with rhinoceros eating people.
Yeah, it's like that song the Starter Critic made up about the rhino.
Game
Rhino.
over.
They scare little boys. Assassinating parents
that's it.
don't bring much joy, is it?
Carry on, Shiri.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, the characters are fine. Like, everything about this movie is fine except for the score. It just. I didn't think the songs were terrible, but I already know I'm not going to remember them by tomorrow.
Except we're family. We're family.
No, I'm
Honestly-
not even going to forget. I'm not even going to remember that one. So.
Honestly, the song I remember the most is My Name is James, and that's because of how terrible the singing is.
Anyway, just to quickly wrap up my final thoughts, this definitely looks like a Tim Burton movie.
Even though it wasn't from Tim Burton.
It's produced by him.
Yeah, it's produced by him. And yeah, he gets to approve everything, so yeah, I'm still gonna say it still looks like a Tim Burton movie. And yeah, that's it. This was okay.
Okay.
Deji?
Yeah, this movie is fine. I had no expectations going in. Just like, yeah, it's okay. It exists. Characters are fine, but I don't want to come off as piggybacking what Pedro said, but this feels a bit undercooked. Like, the premise is like, okay, James. The beginning was interesting. It's like you get to know James, and you feel bad for him for what he's going through, and he just wants to go to New York to, fresh beginning.
I do wonder if maybe this was a movie better suited for the 90s in the sense where it was short and sweet, but the main draw was a lot of the animation gimmicks to it. Again, not to say that it doesn't work even without those, but I do. Well, again, I'm just wrapping around my head the fact that, again, this movie was quite beloved back in the day, so
It was.
maybe it's that.
It's which is weird. It's just because, at least for me, like, remember, this exact same team made Nightmare Before Christmas right before this, which is a movie that aged a lot better, I will argue. So it does make you wonder. Go on, Dej.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, they go on a peach, fly to New York. That's it. I mean, yes, there's the pirate stuff, but just like,
And the
I don't know,
rhino.
and the rhino, which was kind of stupid. But it's like, wish that they spent the time on the journey having the characters develop and grow as a family instead of just this is a trip.
I feel like Danny Elfman probably could have also been a good help, because Danny Elfman at the time was also on fire with his music.
I mean that's the thing. Why Randy Newman?
I actually get Randy Newman. Randy Newman is how to put this? He's the guy you get for a whimsical yet also serious sort of project. Like case in point, Monk. Monk has a lot of comedy, but also a lot of serious and frightening scenes. Like Randy.
Season
2. My point being is like, well, Randy Newman seems to work with stuff that can go from, bubbly and upbeat to extremely terrifying and horrifying, which I guess is sort of the point with this, because Lord knows this movie does like to ramp up that nightmare feel when it can.
I will also argue that he's a better score composer than he is a songwriter.
I'd say he's a good songwriter. It's just that
It's just that I think he's
just not here.
He's good. It's just that I think I think his true talents rely on score composing. Personally,
I mean, Princess and the Frog has such amazing songs that I do feel like he definitely has it when it comes to songwriting. It's just that it can.
Sure, Jova. And guess what? He was writing in his natural element for that movie, so he was perfect for that.
Well, like I said, I feel like okay. Willing to compromise. He's more consistently good at scoring than with songwriting.
Sure, if that helps you.
Anyway, anything else?
Anything else, Edge?
No, that's it.
Dibs.
Yeah, I'll close this out. Yeah, basically, okay, I'm gonna list off the cons first, to get the negativity out the way. Some of the sets don't look very good. Like they look a bit cheap. Yeah, especially the first scene with James and the parents on the quote unquote island, and the exterior of the aunt's house. I mean, the rest of the sets, what little there are afterwards, look okay, but damn those early bits. This was the weakest Randy Newman, involvement in general I've heard. Like the musical score is okay, but the songs are just, the lyrics are not good. The music melodies aren't much better, and whenever James is singing, oh no, stop! I mean, the one that they had to draft in Jeff Bennett for one of the characters whenever they sing.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that they had Jeff Bennett in for one of the songs.
I really have to wonder what was the casting process. They asked the kid, "Can you sing and act?" This kid said no, and they said, "Fuck it, no one's gonna notice." Guess what, guys? We noticed.
Well, Pedro, to be fair, considering the box office, not many people noticed.
Apparently, yep.
Again, that's the thing. People love this movie, though, so maybe they were overlooking or didn't notice. It's quite a conundrum we have on our hands. Or, hell, maybe they just went easy on the kid because, maybe, theory speaking, maybe he's supposed to sound like he's singing bad because he's broken by life.
Here's a theory then. Maybe it's an all dogs go to heaven situation where the movie bombed at the box office, but it was a huge success on home video. Because
that would explain a lot, actually.
Because movies in the late 80s and 90s actually had that thing. Because like the Swan Princess, for example. Swan Princess didn't do so hot at the box office, the first movie, I mean.
Well, it's almost like Disney unleashed the Lion King against the movie.
But according to Sony, those movies are still big hits on home video and now digital. So yeah, that's what.
And also, I'm not sure whether this is impressive or sad. This was one of the better live-action Disney movies around this time. Because what other hits did they really have?
Wait, you mean Disney? Disney had plenty of hits at the time.
Live action.
He's talking about the live action stuff.
Well, Didn't the first 101 Dalmatians live action come out around this time as well?
Oh yeah, true. That one was good. Or was that
I mean,
1998?
1996.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Same year.
A few months after.
That said, I guess aside from that, they weren't exactly batting 1,000 when it came to the live action stuff.
I mean, the following year came Mr. Magoo, which
Ooh.
Yes.
that should be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be quite an
and yet-
interesting movie to commentate on.
And yet, for some reason, that film's on Disney Plus, yet this film isn't.
Well, this film's on Disney Plus over here, according to Dead, so...
Well, how does that help us?
Have fun,
I thought you all
Britons.
have Disney Plus.
It doesn't. I mean, you guys get to enjoy a decent stop motion flick, while us Brits, and I guess you guys as well to an extent, we have to suffer an unfunny film about a character who wasn't really all that funny to begin with.
But
It's
Leslie
because-
Nielsen, guys.
Oh, I love Leslie Nielsen. It's just that movie sucks balls. It's just like, okay. Now, it's let me put it this way. Mr. Magoo is a character that aged badly because of how sensibilities have changed. Because nowadays, if you try to create a character like that, people would see it as incredibly awfully offensive. And
Not so much that it's offensive, it's just that the joke is that he's nearsighted and doesn't bother to get glasses. Like, that's pretty much the joke. It's not so much...
The joke
No, let me put it like this. It's not so much that it's offensive, it's just that, well, the joke doesn't really have much you can spin off of it. I mean, okay, you could arguably make jokes about someone who can't see properly, sure, but... Well, the way the show did it is way different from how standards are nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
Regardless,
I'm
we
curious.
probably shouldn't turn this into a mini Mr. Magoo commentary.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll ask. But we could get Shiori's opinions on it when we eventually get to that movie, if she's interested in doing it.
Sure, and
Sure,
then we'll
why
do
not?
Richie Rich as well.
Yeah, one of Disney's better live-action excursions, although around this time that really wasn't saying much. So that was James and the Giant Peach. I hope you enjoyed. Now, can you guys remind me what's next, just so, while I try and get this Peach
Hey,
on the
Joe.
Empire State Building?
Hey, Joe, but speaking of Disney live-action ventures,
Okay, so I guess we're going to jump from the past closer to the present. With a cruel venture indeed. You'd think it came from the devil or something.
I am so excited.
Now, meanwhile, I will just be preparing my fur coats for the venture.
har. See you for Cruella, everybody.
See ya.
We want to become a cruel devil.
Yeah.